Hello, good morning, everyone. Let's look at what today's people have written as far as the essay is considered. The past is a permanent dimension of human consciousness and values. Past is a permanent dimension of what? Human consciousness and human values. Past, consciousness, values, permanent dimension is also a keyword here. Past means previous experience, events done. Memory, thought, cognizance, morals, ethics, principles. Past is a permanent dimension of human consciousness and values. So they are saying yes because they started with the state, nation, individual. Order is wrong. Either start with the nation, state, individual, or go with individual, state, nation. Hierarchy has to be maintained. So what is the thing that you have written here? Odisha super cyclone 1999, 10,000 deaths. So this is past. So Odisha government developed Odisha model to handle this type of cyclones. 10 deaths in 2001 only during Yas cyclone. So in super cyclone 10,000 deaths, but in Yas cyclone only 10 deaths. So this is some good dimension. Please look at this fact, whether this fact is correct or not. Please check it again. Right? The past is a permanent dimension of human consciousness and values. So based on this dimension, they are taking new development model, that is uh, values. What is the value? Good governance here. Mumbai Taj hack, Taj attack, strengthened maritime and Indian Air Force security. Good. Individuals. King Ashoka, after watching Kalinga bloodshed, abandoned military conquest. Good. Past is permanent dimension of human consciousness. World War. World War One and Two. Various international treaties. Very good example. Society, caste system, unequal society, reservations is still continuing. That is because past is permanent existence. Environment, 5 mass extinctions and natural disasters, climate pacts and indices. Economy, financial crisis, G20 yearly regular meeting to oversee international financial matter. Polity, IRM Gayaram system, that is political defection, anti-defection. Okay, past is not a permanent, should not be a permanent dimension or cannot be. Not should not be, you don't say should not be. It cannot be a permanent dimension of human consciousness. Individual faults should not be permanent dimension of human consciousness as it hinders the future achievements, motivation, failures. Okay, Abraham Lincoln lost almost every stage of his life but finally became because he has learned from the past. Japan conquest during World War I. These pitfalls didn't deter Japan to become developed. ISRO failed in Chandrayaan 2 but aspiring for Chandrayaan 3. So what it means is don't consider that your failure in the past is going to be permanent for your future consciousness and values. Case 2. Past is not a permanent dimension. Despite many setbacks from India, still Pakistan engages in terror activities. Pakistan did not learn the lesson. War, Russia-Ukraine war, good. Trade wars, China, USA, okay, good. So overall, 90% or almost you have substantiated it. Very good, very good improvement over the period of time. This is what consistency is. The moment you are consistently performing a task, that is going to always add values to your answer writing. So please be consistent like this man. This is going to add value for everyone. Right? Good. Let's look at another essay. Wisdom finds truth. Good maintenance, good alignment, everything. Yes, wisdom finds truth. How? In a wisdom means intellect, rationality, intelligence. Truth means reality, facts, well-being of all, liberal ideas, social change, right guidance, peace. Yes, wisdom finds truth because Aristotle said four cardinal values are important. Buddha said life is temporary. Madhya marg. Life is temporary. Follow Madhya marg. That is what Buddha. So wisdom is this, and truth is this. Okay. Medieval India, Sabir, Guru Nanak, Unity of Hindu Muslim, rejection of caste system. Okay. Third one, World, Gorbachev. Okay. Modern, Gandhiji, John Locke, J.J. Rousseau. Okay, people have the right to choose. Individuals, King Ashoka, war not good for none. Family, Jijabai Shivaji, Nelson Mandela. Very good examples. World, Gorbachev put an end to Cold War. Wisdom finds truth. Sometimes wisdom doesn't find truth. Why? Osama bin Laden has good wisdom, but that wisdom is not finding truth. Brahmins misuse the authority. Now, one thing that you have to understand is corporates difficult differential pay scale. Wisdom is not finding truth here. The so-called civilized Western worlds. Okay. So, along with the truth, principles, values, ethics are also important. Integrity without knowledge is weak and useless, but knowledge without integrity is dangerous and dreadful. Excellent user. Napoleon Bonaparte. Great ambitions is ambitions of great character. Excellent. Excellent improvement overall. But the question here is, see, wisdom is application of the knowledge as per the situations, right? That you should know these things. Very good. I know you are going to substantiate the answer. So these are the two essays that I have got yesterday. Very good. So do one thing. From today onwards, what is your so we have come to a very good stage so far. This is 10th day. We have come to a very good stage on essay writing. So body, you understood how to write. So from tomorrow, what is your answer? What is your work is take previous year essay and start writing full body. Write full body for the next 1 week each day, one every day, one a day, full body of the essay. And when I say full body of the essay, what it should contain? It should contain introduction. It should contain the keyword at the beginning. That is what I said, interconnecting paragraph word. That should be there. Give your argument, substantiate with the examples, and reiterate the stand. Link it with the keywords, give your argument, substantiate with examples, reiterate the stand. So, three things or four things should be written while in every paragraph. Interlinking paragraph word, the keyword which is interlinking word, followed by your argument, followed by substantiation means example, followed by reiteration. I already said you many times how to write the full body. Please follow that rules and that it is going to have. But before writing full body, what you have to know, you have to do that exercise. What is that exercise? Whether this sentence I am yes or no, you have to write in rough. You have to practice in rough. That is why I made you to practice all these days. After this, write keywords and know some examples. Keep ready at the individual level, whatever the work that you did like this, right? You have to do, and then start writing the full body. So full body, again, when you are writing, you have to think about this, otherwise our answers will not be sufficient. So from tomorrow we are entering into the next stage of essay. Those who have followed my essays every day and they are who are showing good improvement, please follow this and you are going to secure highest marks in essay. This is the mantra for essay. Every day some work, follow that, you are going to get. So far you did a very good thing. You have reached some substantial portion. Half of the work is done. From now full body starting will start. However, in order to write that full body, whatever the work that you have learned so far, try to make it on a rough paper and then bring the contents onto the main paper. Please note, when you are writing, the alignments of the sentences are important. The alignment of the paragraph is important. Examples is very, very important. Reiteration of the stand after every paragraph is important. Reiteration of the stand after every paragraph means whenever you are taking thesis statement, whenever you are standing by that statement, say that yes, wisdom finds truth. Yes, wisdom finds truth. That has to be repetitive. So, what is the work that you people have to do is follow this essay full body. So this is the first work that you people have to do today. So otherwise, it is going to be difficult. Write full body of the essays. It will be helpful. So the moment you start writing, the rest of the things won't take much time. Believe me, the rest of the things won't take much time. That is going to add value. Right. So this is your essay writing. From tomorrow, don't send me this rough sketch. Enough, 10 days enough. Now I cannot concentrate further on that. Those who have not sent, please write on your own front. And from today, I will be checking the body of the essay. Right? That is how you have to go as far as essay is considered. Now let's look at the case study that people have written and sent me. First, let me look at the alignment. Very good alignment. Very good improvement. Excellent, Manoj. Superb. Maintain the same thing. Alignment का जो भी लिख दिया, this is the way to present. Follow this model. Don't forget this one. You have learnt it in the hard way. Don't forget this, and you are going to do miracles in this year's mains. Stakeholders, ethical issues involved. I will read this. Just I am testing the alignment. Okay. Good alignment. Very good improvement. Whatever you have written, good. Simple and beautiful. Stakeholders. Now this brings us to this example. Good, yeah, very good. So excellent. Overall, a great improvement. I'm really happy to see this. So maintain this. Don't forget this. This is really excellent, and you have to do that consistently whenever you are writing. Now I couldn't call you yesterday because I was a bit busy in some work, and I'll talk to you today anyhow. The chairman of Bharat Missile Limited was watching a program on the TV wherein the Prime Minister was addressing the nation on the necessity of developing a self-reliant India. He subconsciously nodded in agreement and smiled to himself as he is mentally reviewed BML's journey in the past 2 decades. BML has admirably progressed from producing first generation anti guided missile tanks to design and produce the state of art ATGM weapon system that would be the envy of an army. He signed in reconciliation with his assumptions that the government would probably not alter the status quo and the ban of export of military weaponry. So, ban of export of military weaponry is the status quo that you are following uh, when in the country. So, he was the chairman of Bharat Missile Limited. So, he was just looking at his journey over a period of time. Now, whenever you see export of military weaponry, this question is relating to ethics in international relations. The moment you remember this, that this is speaking about ethics in international relations, what are the sub-syllabus that you have to remember? You have to remember the syllabus that I said in Lakshmikant, I have shown you to study, right? So those are the points that you have to have. What is this? Anti-imperialism, anti-racialism, maintaining territorial integrity, maintaining peace, harmony, these things. To his surprise, the very next day he got a telephone call from the Director General Ministry of Defence asking him to discuss the modalities of increasing BML production of ATGM as there is a possibility of exporting the same to a friendly foreign country. So to whom you are exporting? You are exporting to a friendly foreign country. The Director General wanted the chairman to discuss the details with the staff at the Delhi next week. So this GG wants his chairman to discuss these details. 2 days later, a press conference, the defense minister stated that he aims to double the current weapons export level. So we are exporting or doubling our export system within 5 years. This would give an impetus of financing the development and infrastructure of indigenous weapons in the country. He also stated that all indigenous arms and manufacturing nations have a very good record of international arms trade. As a chairman of BML, what are your views on the following points? So they are asking what are your views. As an arms exporter of a responsible nation like India, what are the ethical issues involved in arms trade? List 5 ethical factors that would influence the decision to sell arms to foreign governments. So, what are the ethical factors that play a very crucial role in determining selling the foreign governments. Whenever I say foreign governments, look at whether that government is alien to your government or an enemy to your government, or whether it is a friendly nation to you. Second one is, whenever you are selling some arms to a foreign nation, don't sell it to enemies, sell it to friends. Anyhow, enemies are not going to buy. Second thing, when you sell it to the friendly nations, make sure that you are not compromising on each and every technical aspects. Only some aspects you should reveal, the rest of the aspects should not be revealed. See, just like we have received our foreign arms, like from Russia, Israel, or the so-called USA over a period of time, they didn't transfer the complete technology. So what they involve is for maintenance, they involve their own local people. Similarly, we have to maintain our own local people. And the fourth thing that you have to look at is the factors of that country. What are the foreign relations of that country? Whether it is a democratic country, whether this is respecting peace and security, whether it is colonial country, all these things. Whatever we studied in ethics and international relations, you can write all these things. Now let's look at the answer. The case study discusses export of military weapons to friendly nations through expansion of indigenous capability of weapon system. You are very good at writing the precise writing, very good. Stakeholders, me as a chairman of BMI, India and its public, world at large. Ethical issues involved in arms trade are arms trade leads to disturbance in peace and tranquility in the world. Very good usage, excellent use. It promotes distrust and like-minded, very good, distrust, like-minded blocs to promote their interests among nations. USA policy of strategic partnership, NATO. It diverts funds from welfare projects like poverty alleviation programs and human capital. Okay, it also good. It also promotes corruption, crony capitalism, etc. As many reputes high like corruptions, etc. in the weapon trade. It poses dilemma of gun versus bun. Excellent usage, yeah. Excellent. Altogether, this was beyond uh, uh, the ethical value, beyond a reasonable answer. Five ethical factors that influence decisions are: the profit obtained in arms can be used for welfare projects. Okay, to ensure security. Five ethical factors. Sovereign and territorial integrity of nations are dynamic. Sudden attack on Russia and Ukraine. Yes. Selling of arms through technology and developed ones. Okay. Arms trafficking not done by responsible country like India, other countries will promote. And if trade is responsible, then it can also help to promote peace through regulation. So the program of India is Sagar, security for all the region. Thus, arms trade cannot fully justify by ethically, but it can be only economically as well as technological advancement. However, trade by responsible country like India helps to promote as well as regulate it for international peace and tranquility. That is completely good. So you are supporting it, and add some more terms like what are the ethics in international relations, like territorial integrity. I asked you on the. I already said what are the factors that we have to see in ethical relations as far as international relations is considered. That is your Article 51A of Directive Principles of State Policy, followed by the so-called Panchashil Doctrine, followed by Lakshmikant book, whatever we have studied in that international relations side heading. Just have a look at it. These are the things. Overall, again, a very great improvement I can say in this paper. Over a period of time you are writing, this is what consistency. So consistency is the key for success and you are proving it. Maintain the same thing, continue writing case study every day in the similar fashion how yesterday you have written. Remember that and follow that. That is model that is working for you. So whatever the model that you are looking, that is going to really work for you and that is going to help you substantially over a period of time. So you have learned this in the hard way. So what I say is, just remember what is your mental state when you are writing this answer. What is your mental state when you are writing that answer? Remember that and maintain the same mental state. So same mental state is important. Don't be carried away in any other thing. This is more than enough. Now you came to that bracket of scoring more than 110 in ethics. If you are writing this continuously, it will come. Don't worry. So what is the thing? Both things substantial improvement was observed. So I am pretty happy that you'll be getting good score in essay and ethics. Please follow this continuously and don't deviate in the middle. Do one case study at least like this every day. It is going to help. And essay writing body का build-up करना start करना है बस. आज से you follow one more thing. That is one thing that I am going to ask is, anyhow I will start the so-called case studies के बाद क्या है, theory part है 125 marks का. So I will start that component अभी. Okay. So yesterday, let's go for this syllabus, and then we'll come back how we are discussing on that. ये देखो, development process and development industries, self-help groups, various donors, this one, and then there is one thing, role of civil services in democracy, जो भी है वो alternatively है. Role of NGOs, I didn't discuss this, I'll discuss at a later stage, but more or less everything that you have to remember is they are part of complementary role. They are government plus non-governmental organizations or civic society organizations together. Whatever the question that they are going to ask, you have to write basic common answer. Important aspects of governance here, we have discussed this thing in entirety. Government policies and interventions for the development of various sections, so particularly relating to health, education, human resource का क्या पढ़ना है इधर, health का national health mission programs, education का new education policy, human resource का I am going to discuss. So there are 5 policies that you have to definitely look at it. So health में क्या क्या था, education में क्या क्या था, human resource what are the things that we have. So if we want to discuss, we'll discuss that components in the coming days. So this is very important. Social justice, जब भी आप लोगों को ये देता है, then social justice starts coming out. So social justice is of this mechanisms, laws and institutions and bodies, which means laws means what are the various laws. Now laws, what they will ask only that things which are in current affairs, right? So now look, in GS paper 2, entire syllabus of GS paper 2, there are almost, constitution is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 topics are under the constitution. We can directly read that at a later stage. It will be completed within short time. The rest of the things, development process 1, role of civil services 2, important aspects of governance 3, government policies 4, health, education, human resource 5, poverty, hunger 6, welfare scheme 7, 8. So this 8 can be answered very easily in the format that I am going to say, right? Please be braced up for this, open up your minds what I am saying and try to understand it clearly, then only you can answer this question very easily. So अभी मैं जो भी डिस्कस कर रहा हूँ, GS पेपर 2 का गवर्नेंस एंड सोशल जस्टिस का पेपर डिस्कस कर रहा हूँ. I am discussing that, and in this what you have to understand is, out of the 20 questions, right, there will be 6 questions from this social justice and governance. Definitely 6 questions are there. These 6 questions, 3 from 10 marker, 3 for 15 marker, which means 75 marks is going to come. But let me tell you, out of my experience in the past 7 years, if you look at the papers, the questions will be very dynamic. You will not be able to understand where the questions are coming from. So we should have a framework to analyze that question and be ready to write the answers. That is a framework that I will be discussing by taking up some strategy. In this regard, what I wanted to tell to you people is, the most important aspect in this is you should understand from where the question is being asked. Abhi dekho, the question can be asked from development process and development industry. In order to understand or write a substantial answer on the role of NGOs, self-help groups, charities, donors, civil servants, all these people, government policies, एक कॉमन चीज था, गवर्नमेंट है, यू हैव गवर्नमेंट, यू हैव गवर्नेंस. गवर्नेंस का मतलब डेवलपमेंट है. वाई गवर्नेंस इज देयर, यू शुड हैव डेवलपमेंट. दैट इज द रीजन वाई यू हैव डेवलपमेंट एंड डेवलपमेंट institutions. So First thing that I am going to make you is, please look in the coming 3 days, have a look at this syllabus component in GS paper 2. Take this Xerox. I hope you have Xerox of this. That is the reason I shared it in the group. If you are not taken yet, please join this Telegram group of UPSC. My own group is there. You can download this from the pin messages. Then it is going to be helpful for you. Please download it. So what I am going to discuss is, we are going to discuss these things. Be thorough with the syllabus first. I'll tell you how the syllabus is interlinked until this. The rest of the things, once you do this, you are going to get good marks in GS paper 2. अभी ये GS paper 2 का GS paper 3 में कुछ overlap है इधर. What are the things? Look, in GS paper 3 there is one issue called inclusive growth and issues arising from it. ये important चीज है which is linked with governance aspects. I'll show you how it is there, and then after this what you have, let me tell you, go back to this. If there is no inclusive development, there will be extremism. वो भी एक चीज है. So security का एक component था GS paper 2 में. This is the one. So GS paper 2 का, this is in GS paper 3 you have linkage. In GS paper 3 you have this one. If there is no development, there is no security. Now I said why governance is lacking, or what are the ethical issues in governance. So all the things are ethical issues, like political, for example, ethics in public and private relationships. You are not able to overcome conflict of interest, attitude. So these things are the sections that we have already discussed. Now have a look at it. We have more or less discussed everything. The only thing that is left, second chapter I discussed work culture, quality of service delivery. Quality of service delivery, you have one model known as Sevottam model. Now I am going to discuss this. Utilization of public funds. Public funds are limited. So just remember this. जब भी ये क्वेश्चन पूछता है केस स्टडी or directly, so how you have to use public funds, or why public funds should be used judiciously. Public funds should be used judiciously because every government has limited resources. Resources are limited, but the desires of the people are unlimited. Hence, what is the policy of government? Policy of the government is maximum good to maximum people. It have to ensure maximum good to maximum people. In order to ensure maximum good to maximum people, what is required is, you should effectively improve, or you should effectively use the minimum resources that is available. That is the reason effective public utilization of funds is important. In this context, you have to always remember that overutilization of public funds, underutilization of public funds, unutilization of public funds, misutilization of public funds. Overutilization means you are unable to do the work within limited resources. Underutilization means you are not completely using it. Unutilization means you have not yet started using it. Misutilization means you are not using it for the appropriate work. All these are the 4 things in utilization of public funds. Challenges of corruption. What is corruption? I already said. Second ARC definition of corruption: accepting anything other than legal remuneration. Acceptance of any gratification other than legal remuneration for the official duty performed is known as corruption. For the official duty performed is known as corruption. Right? This is the thing already I said. And you have to look at performance of a task which should be done legally. If you are not doing it, that is also corruption. क्वालिटी ऑफ सर्विस डिलीवरी, सेवोत्तम मॉडल है. मैं सेवोत्तम मॉडल डिस्कस करता हूं आज. सेवोत्तम, सेवा हैज टू बी उत्तमम. That is the meaning. Who has given this Sevottam model? Not Gandhi. Sevottam model was said by second ARC. Work culture. What is work culture? Already I discussed. What is citizens charter? Code of ethics का है, code of conduct है. What is the difference between code of ethics, code of conduct? I discussed it separately. Right to information is one of the tool to improve the governance. This I am going to discuss. The rest of the things we have discussed everything. तो GS पेपर 4 का डिस्कशन कंप्लीट हुआ था. As far as syllabus is considered, as far as case studies is considered, one aspect which is left in GS paper 4 is governance का. ये है RTI I'll discuss, and one thing is quality of service delivery. Quality of service delivery Sevottam model. Now what I am left or what I am going to discuss, let me give that idea, because many people will be not knowing where I am going to teach or what I am going to teach. If you are not aware of that, that is going to be a big problem, right? That is the thing that I wanted to discuss. So from now, what I discussed so far, for those guys who are unable to understand what I discussed so far from the last 9 days, is this one, guys. From the last 9 days, what I have been discussing, let's have an idea about it first. I have been discussing about certain aspects, like I started with ethics case study because I promised you that within 40 days you will be in a position to write good answers for everything in UPSC mains. For that, I started with case studies. Today, those who are consistently writing, already I have shown the improvement of few people by showing their examples. The moment you write consistently, 125 marks out of this, you will be able to get minimum 60 marks. So people have reached to that stage. Please continue this. Don't leave it. Now you have gained that power. The second thing that I started doing is essay writing, where I started discussing about philosophical essays. Why philosophical essays? Because out of 8 essays from the last 2 years, 6 are going to be philosophical. This year also that will continue. Hence, I made you to practice the body. I said you some techniques. So far, I made you thoroughly to think about the body, how to write about the body. So you have reached to this stage. So philosophical essays, if you are writing 2 philosophical essays, you will be ready with 250 marks altogether here. So in this body, the rest of the thing which is left is, what is left here. So आज से मैंने कहा कि what you have to do is you have to start writing full body, right? So far whatever the exercise that you have done, that is completely good. Now start writing the full body. Now what is left, when I was discussing GS paper 4 of the entire syllabus, I have given a quick review. In 2 days, I have given a quick review about what are the components that is available in theory of case ethics. Right. In this context, what I have discussed is, after case study, as you are writing this, I have also discussed the entire syllabus quickly. Why I discuss the entire syllabus? To give you an overview about how the syllabus is there, what are the components you have to write in each and every component of the syllabus. Right. So that is how I discuss. The next component is, in GS paper 2, there is some GS paper 4, you have one thing called governance. This governance aspect is not only present in GS paper 4, I said this is present in GS paper 2 also. That made us to enter into the governance topic, where there are 8 topics in GS paper 2 about governance. This made me to discuss about the basics of governance. So day before yesterday we discussed these aspects. What is government? What is governance? What is the objective of governance? Objective is welfare. अभी गवर्नमेंट का मतलब क्या था? I already said you. गवर्नमेंट का मतलब, it is the structure or an organization which is instituted to perform a task. जो भी इंस्टीट्यूशन है, इसका एक काम होता है. So the institution is called as government or organization, or you call it as administrator or administration wing. The task, whatever the government is functioning, that task is known as governance. So governance means task or work that is done. Now what is the task that government has to do? The task of government is governance. So what is that governance? The governance or work is welfare. Welfare of whom? The subjects. So this is how government is connected with the subjects, welfare of subjects. So here तीन चीजें हैं. Government means structure, governance is task, welfare is subject. So there are 3 bodies. अभी governance जब भी हम लोग डिस्कस करता हूँ, good governance is there, I can do work for the work sake. Bad governance is there, right? Bad governance is work for work sake. लेकिन good governance is ensuring that every sections of society is getting benefited. Abhi good governance, then we started discussing what are the 8 elements of good governance and how that can be integrated. A discussion मैंने कल किया था. In that, one good governance aspect is accountability. The second one is transparency. जब भी transparency का बात हो रहा हूँ, मैंने आपको दिखाया था what are the elements that we have to have in good governance or the so-called transparency, where I have discussed about code of ethics, code of conduct, RTI. I said something about e-governance, citizens charter. जो भी है वो ट्रांसपेरेंसी इंप्रूवमेंट करने के लिए. That is how I linked GS paper 4 with GS paper 2, because the questions can be asked either in GS paper 4 or GS paper 2. वो आप समझना है after this. So this is the thing. Now after discussing this entire thing, A governance का है. The next one is the ultimate objective of government is to do a work which will give justice to subjects. अभी है. So the ultimate aim is social justice. गवर्नमेंट का एम सोशल जस्टिस है. नाउ आई स्टार्टेड डिस्कसिंग सोशल जस्टिस का एस्पेक्ट कहा था. सोशल जस्टिस एस्पेक्ट जीएस पेपर 2 में है. हाउ आई हैव शोन यू बाय टेकिंग अप द सिलेबस. सो दैट इज द इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग. नो, जब भी सोशल जस्टिस का डिस्कस कर रहा हूं, द थिंग दैट आई सेड इज व्हाट इज सोशल जस्टिस. सोशल जस्टिस इज ensuring that welfare of these subjects in the society. Who are the members in the society? For that I said your society will be composed of varied variety of people, starting from your children, women, physically elderly people, young population, physically challenged people, senior citizens or elderly. LGBT communities is one thing that you have. SCs you have, STs you have, then you have minorities, linguistic minorities, religious minorities, right? You have class differences, that is the rich versus the poor. Whenever I say rich versus poor, the rich will contain again inequalities will be there. Poor means urban poor, rural poor. So all these are the sections that you have in a society. जब भी a society है, whenever you are looking at the welfare of each and everyone here, then you are attaining social justice. That is how this subject is connected. So first thing that you have to understand is जब भी क्वेश्चंस गवर्नमेंट से पूछते हैं, गवर्नेंस से पूछते हैं या सोशल वेलफेयर से पूछते हैं, द बेसिक रूट इज दिस. गवर्नमेंट इज द इंस्टीट्यूशन, गवर्नेंस इज द फंक्शन, ऑब्जेक्टिव इज वेलफेयर ऑफ द सब्जेक्ट्स और सोशल जस्टिस. In order to understand social justice, you have to understand the social composition. इधर social composition में कौन होता है? Vulnerable sections होता है. The moment you are focusing on vulnerable sections and uplifting them, everyone have their own desires, right? Every section has its own desires. Your duty is to uplift them. The moment you are uplifting them, you are doing social justice. That is the reason every group will have some policies. So major policies that you have to study. For example, what are the major policies that are available for SCs, STs? They can ask this question. What are the major policies that you have for women that they can ask? So questions wide variety se hota hai. You have to focus on which type of question they are asking. Now we cannot prepare each and every policy, but the strategy is jo bhi puchte hai, we should have some content to write. That is my strategy, right? I'll tell you how we can frame. But though children, women, young, elderly, senior citizens, all these people are having, they have respective policies to uplift them. You have respective constitutional rights, वो constitution में पढ़ते हैं. You have statutory bodies to ensure that these people are getting benefited, and then you have some laws particularly made for these sections. So all this you have to remember. How? Whenever we take children, we should remember what are the constitutional rights, what are the statutory rights, what statutory matlab, what are the laws, right? So then you have to look at what are the policies that government of India has done, or what are the programs that government of India has done. Similarly for women, similarly for senior citizens. जब भी हम लोग के पास वो डेटा होता है, we can substantiate our answer beautifully in essay writing. That is the logic, that is the key. And your answer writing will be 50% complete for mains. This is the key. You have to understand this is the one. Now look, this is connected to inclusive growth. Why it is connected to inclusive growth? What is inclusive growth? Ensuring that everyone in the society is a part and parcel of growth is called inclusive growth. You have to ensure that everyone is inclusive of your components. How you can make that inclusive? You can make them inclusive by focusing on their respective aspects. Hence again, this is linked to GS paper 3. So what I wanted to say you is, जब भी गवर्नेंस का टॉपिक आता है, डोंट लुक इन साइडोस, डोंट लुक इट इन द पर्सपेक्टिव ऑफ GS paper 4 alone or GS paper 2 alone. It has GS paper 2 8 topics, GS paper 3 inclusive growth का टॉपिक and sustainable development भी इधर से आता है, GS paper 4 almost theory of governance. So all these are the aspects that you have. Entirely it is dependent on this. So हमारे पास क्या होना है, citizens, children का क्या है, women का क्या है. This is all the things that we should know, that I will be telling you in the subsequent classes from tomorrow. What we have for children, what we have for women. So what is the source that I will be following? लक्ष्मीकांत का एक book है governance. Apart from your Indian polity, he has written one more book called governance. So Lakshmikant. From that, I will follow the source. No need to follow. I have done all the work. You can just follow that work. That is going to be more than enough. Just do what I say. Now, after this, the next thing is, so this is connected to GS paper 3 like this, inclusive growth ka. So I have discussed what is government, minimum government, maximum governance things, and we have discussed good governance things. One aspect which is left is RTI, Right to Information Act. गवर्नमेंट का वर्क क्या था? वेलफेयर ऑफ द पीपल. दैट इज द टास्क दैट इट इज परफॉर्मिंग. जब भी वेलफेयर एस्पेक्ट होता है, whenever you have this welfare objective, then the thing that you have to do is you have to ensure that this is happening in a sequential manner. Clear? So वो करना है. After this, what I wanted to tell, this is how GS paper 2 is connected. So from this, out of the entire syllabus 100 marks will come, minimum 100 marks. जो भी मैंने डिस्कस किया 100 marks से आता हूँ by asking various type of questions. In that I will be focusing on what you have to read. Now come back here. Whenever I say government, government is the organization as the structure. Government has to look at welfare of people. But these people are of different sections. This is what I said. Now look, in India you have huge population and government is limited. You cannot solve all the problems by government itself, right? So what is government role? It has to do governance, that is the work. Governance means the work that it functions. What is the work? Welfareistic work. This you also call as the developmental work. In order to do this development, what government does is, until 1990s it used to just depend upon civil servants. But after this, there are some other agencies to do this work. Why? The burden of the government is increasing. इसलिए government क्या करना है? It has to depend on some other sources. For that, you have non-government organizations. That is self-help groups, NGOs, donors, trusts, charitable institutions. I already discussed role of civil servants, role of self-help groups, donors, trusts and charities. They don't ask the question. NGOs है, that I'll discuss at a later stage. This we will call it as civic society. जब भी आप civic society को include कर रहा हो governance में, then your governance becomes people-centric governance, because World Bank clearly said that for good governance you should have 3 factors. What are the 3 factors that you should have? One thing is government or government body, private players play crucial role, and civic societies play crucial role. Civic societies means all these things. Hence, this makes good governance because it makes governance to go towards the people. People-centric governance is going to be achieved through this mechanism. Clear? So this is what the thing is. Let me speak this. So I have got a question. Sir, what about optional? I have chosen anthropology, sir. Ma'am, please call me after this class. This is completely GS class. I hope you have my number 6303 229830. 6303 229830. Please call me after this class. I will be discussing about what you have to do with anthropology. This is completely GS. Those who are writing mains this year and those who are wants to complete the mains program within 40 days, this is for them. I cannot discuss about anthropology here. Pardon me for that. Let me come back to this discussion. So this is the thing, guys. So this is how we have this system. So this is why in GS paper 2 you have NGOs and civic societies. After this, all these players are known as development and development process. This is known as development and development process. Right? Now, the next thing that you have to understand is how exactly government ensures development or welfare. In order to understand this, government ensures development or welfare through a policy known as public policy. एक चीज है public policy का. So here public policy is important. So we will be discussing through public policy itself government achieves development. Why? So for example, if you are studying for UPSC, in order to crack UPSC, you will be planning something or you will have a policy. So in order to achieve UPSC, you have a plan. Similarly, government has one objective, that is welfare. Hence, it will have a plan. That is why public policy is given in JS paper 2. Hence, what we have to study is, so what are the things that I am going to discuss? Public policy ka cheez hai that I will discuss. In the development process and development industries, NGOs is left, I will discuss. RTA is left, I will discuss this too. Because the rest of the story already I have discussed in the previous classes. And then I will be discussing about how to answer the questions in governance as well as ethics ka component mein. Right? In ethics, we have already did case studies. Follow that. I will be starting discussing about how to write ethics theory questions. Theory questions, how to address. I will tell you strategy. Follow that subsequently. Right? Tomorrow I will tell you, not today, or day after tomorrow I will tell you. Because let's complete these governance aspects first, and then we can start together. Now, so what is left? NGOs, RTAs ka. Next is public policy. What exactly is public policy? What is the problems in India's public policy? If you understand these problems, the 8 questions that they are giving in GS paper 2, you will be able to answer that. Right? As far as governance is considered, governance and social justice is considered, problems. And in this public policy, you have to study the schemes of various sections. Those schemes may quickly discuss karta hu. And one more thing that you have to understand is, whenever I say that the society is composed of all these elements, one thing that you have to always remember is, whatever the section is, 3 things or 4 things is very, very important irrespective of the respective policies. Policies, har ek stakeholder ko hona hai separately. But there will be some schemes which are very important for everyone in the society. What are those? Food, that is right to food, National Food Security Act का discuss करना है. Education is important for everyone, right to education का discuss करना है. Health is important for everyone. प्रधानमंत्री जन आरोग्य योजना, प्रधानमंत्री आयुष्मान भारत योजना is important. Skill is important for everyone. Skill India program तो important है. लेकिन last one is livelihood is important. That is what government is doing to uphold the things. So that is why they were given separately. All these are called as human resource development. ये भी पढ़ना है हम. So apart from the individual important policies, we should also study these policies. That makes us to be ready with policies. So public policy means schemes plus human development schemes which are common. So what do I mean by human development schemes? This ones just now I said. And what are these schemes? Individual schemes. Individual schemes, right? Individual schemes means हर एक सेक्शन को एक अलग तरीका पॉलिसी होना है, that we will be discussing. So this makes us to complete public policy and we will get it. But unless and until you don't understand this, you will not be in a position to understand the questions that is being given in GS paper 2. In GS paper 2, people score very less marks. The reason is they don't know what they are writing as per the question. Question will be asking you something, we will not be able to comprehend the question and we will deviate the question. वो definitely होता है GS paper 2 में. And this is the reason why we don't get good marks in GS paper 2. Hence, try to understand this, focus on this. You are going to achieve very good marks as far as GS 2 is considered. Right? I already promised you to get good score in ethics and essay. If you want to get good score in GS paper 2, this is the policy. Now, after this, so what is important to you to get good marks here? I said in syllabus, what are the things that you have to see, right? Syllabus, paper, you take this printout of the paper at any cost, take this printout and keep with you, because unless and until you don't know the syllabus, you cannot write what it is happening. So in the next 1 week, what is your work as far as GS paper 2 or this 100 marks is considered? Look at the syllabus here, development process and developmental industry. This is one thing, how they are linked. I showed you this and this are interlinked together. Important aspects of governance, GS paper 4 में भी था, इधर ही था. I already discussed. This is simple. Direct question will ask. Now government policies है. They said government policies, which means policy making, interventions for the development in various sectors and issues arising there out of their design and implementation. This is called public policy making. What are the issues in this? Now they said health, education, human resource, poverty, hunger. I said these are human resource development का पन्ना है. Apart from this, welfare schemes for vulnerable sections मतलब यही है. Welfare schemes for vulnerable sections means these are the vulnerable schemes. What are the schemes? जो भी है health, education, these are human resource development. So both are covered here. This one, welfare schemes for vulnerable sections means that one, like children, women, all these things, and the common things are this. So like that it is linked. After this, you have laws, institutions, bodies, which means what are the various schemes that you have, particularly as far as this aspect is considered. Institutions, I said, what are the institutions that are present? Statutory institutions, constitutional institutions. That is how this syllabus is there. So understand this. First, don't write the answers. Try to understand the syllabus, how it is linked. Government, governance, and this one. And this has connection with GS paper 3, because अभी जब भी सोशल जस्टिस में पूछ रहा हूँ हम लोग, different sections है. We have different sections. Whenever we are speaking about them, the moment you are focusing on them, inclusive growth is going to arise. That is the best thing of this answer writing. Anyhow, this is going to happen, right? So inclusive growth is going to happen. After this, you have to focus on GS paper 4 का good governance schemes. Public policy, accountability, probity in good governance. So these are the things. So tomorrow I'll end here. Tomorrow what I'm going to discuss is, I'm going to start this again. Government, I already said what is this. Governance, I already said what is the ultimate objective of governance. Welfare. But welfare karne ka, what you should have is, you should understand what is the composition of your society. Now you have this composition. So what tomorrow I'll start doing is, how government makes public policy. What are the public policy elements? And then I will take what are the policies for health, education, human resource development, jo bhi hai 5 topics, I'll complete it. After this, I'll come to individual section and I'll tell important things. You just remember that. That is really important for your essay writing, really important for your this thing that is called ethics along with your governance. Like this, 100 marks from governance is going to be covered apart from your ethics and essay. If you understand this, you will be the topper in GS paper 2 in mains. If you don't understand this, we will get somewhere around 70 marks, but the potential is to score 120 in this. 50 marks ka game hai. So you have to focus on this. So this is what I am going to complete. Tomorrow, anyhow, I will take NGOs and RTA. But what I request you is, if you have not understood what I have discussed, government means what, governance means what is the ultimate objective of this. If you are unable to understand this, please watch my another video, which I will be making separately for government, governance, these things. At least I hope you'll understand that. If you do not have time, at least watch this at least watch this in these aspects. So if you do not at least understand that, already in the last 9 days I have said what exactly is the strategy to prepare. In that I have discussed what is government, what is governance. Right? Again I am telling government is institution, governance is the word, governance good hona hai, that is why you have that, and then you have public policies for that. So tomorrow I'm going to complete that within 2 days. Give me 2 days, you'll be very perfect to score 100. Out of this 100, you'll be in a position to score 70 marks. But open up your mind. Don't write, don't think anything. Just don't worry about writing. Start thinking, start analyzing. That is how we start building up the answers. Then only we will be in a position to write the answers. Right, guys? I'll be ending my topic here. So, आपका work क्या था? What is your work for tomorrow? Write case study. Continue that. Second work that you have is write essay, body of the essay totally. Right? So this is your work. So new thing is going to start for essay, that is full body writing. And those who doesn't know that, I have this YouTube channel. You can watch my YouTube channel in with my name Dhanu PSIR. If you type that in YouTube, you are going to get my option is PSIR. So Dhanu PSIR, you can get it, right? So follow that videos there. If you have not watched this last 10 days, start doing it. Do one day one video, that is more than enough. At least you start today, nothing is going to be varied. So tomorrow I am going to start this thing, pakka governance and these things that makes us to finish substantial amount. The rest of the things are very easy, you can complete in 10 days all the papers. Right, guys? If you have any questions, you can ask me. Otherwise I'll be winding up the session now.